insane, you guys. I'm shocked by this news. So let me set the stage for you guys.
This is absolutely shocking. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I was just finishing up my workout, minding my own business, when my phone buzzed with a notification that made my jaw drop. Neko Gourmet, the president of the WNBA Players Association, just signed with a Saudi-backed league, a league that openly aims to rival the WNBA. And she did it right in the middle of historic contract negotiations that could change women's basketball forever. Yes, you heard that right. In a single decision, Neko didn't just make a move for herself, she sent shockwaves through the entire league. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this could be a defining moment that reshapes the sport entirely. First, let's break down what this new league even is. It's a 5-on-5 league, funded with Saudi Arabian money, massive amounts of money, and it plans to host games across Europe and Asia for 14 weeks. They want to recruit 66 top players, and Neko is the very first name announced. This isn't a small venture or a side project. This is a full-scale rival league, designed to compete directly with the WNBA. Not complement it, not collaborate with it, replace it. And make no mistake, Saudi money doesn't care about ratings, TV deals, or whether anyone even tunes in. They're willing to pay players huge sums just to make a statement and gain global influence. If you think this is just another league offering opportunities, think again. This is sports washing on a global scale, and women's basketball is the battleground. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Right now, WNBA owners and players are negotiating contracts, seeking better salaries, benefits, and revenue sharing. But nearly every major player at that table has equity in other leagues. Breanna Stewart co-founded Unrivaled. Kelsey Plum has equity there. Elizabeth Williams, Brianna Turner, and Alicia Clark all have stakes in Athletes Unlimited. So when the WNBA owners say, "We'll give you more money, but you can't play elsewhere," what happens? Conflict. You've got players at the table whose interests lie partly in leagues that compete with the WNBA, and Neko herself confirmed that compensation was key to her signing. In her own words, Project B offered something not usually offered to women: athletes, equity, and top-level pay that the WNBA could never match. Translation? Money talks, and it speaks louder than loyalty. Now, let's pause for a moment on these equity deals. On paper, they look incredible. Ownership stakes in a league. Sounds amazing, right? But here's the harsh truth. You can't cash out immediately. The league must succeed, sell, or go public before anyone sees real money. And even then, it's percentages of percentages, not the massive ownership everyone imagines. So while this seems like empowerment, it's really a gamble. A very public gamble. One that could fracture the sport if things go wrong. Here's the most important part. The WNBA just had its best season ever. Record attendance, record viewership, new fans discovering stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Momentum was at an all-time high. Now, suddenly, fans are faced with multiple competing leagues: Unrivaled, Athletes Unlimited, Project B. Casual fans who just started paying attention? They'll get confused, distracted, and leave. And what about the middle-tier players, the ones on hardship contracts? They rely on the WNBA to make a living. Project B isn't offering them contracts. Only the top 66 players get picked. So if the WNBA season locks out or falters, these players have nowhere to go. Their dreams vanish, while the stars collect their massive payouts overseas. Let's talk about Saudi money, because this isn't the first time it's disrupted a sport on a massive scale. Take Lviv Golf versus the PGA Tour as an example. On paper, Lviv looks irresistible. Players are paid exponentially more than their PGA counterparts. But when it comes to viewership, the numbers tell a very different story. PGA Tour final rounds in 2024 averaged 66 million viewers. Lviv Golf? Only 385,000. The difference is staggering. Why does this happen? Lviv doesn't care about ratings. They don't care if fans tune in, attend events, or even engage with the sport. Profit isn't the end goal. This is sports washing, a strategy to use athletics to build international prestige, improve global perception, and project soft power. Money flows freely, but the sport itself and the fans who love it are secondary. And that's exactly what's happening with Project B. The league isn't primarily about growing women's basketball or building a sustainable professional platform. It's about creating a global spectacle backed by seemingly limitless funds, projecting influence on the world stage, and capturing headlines. Meanwhile, the WNBA, the league that built the sport, cultivated fans, and created history, is left fighting for survival. This isn't just a financial threat. It's a strategic disruption with consequences for every player, fan, and young girl dreaming of playing professionally in the United States. Project B isn't just another league, it's a traveling F1-style spectacle. Picture this: premier cities across Europe and Asia, a global championship, games streamed to audiences around the world. It's flashy, modern, ambitious, and designed to capture attention. On paper, it sounds exciting. But beneath all that glitz lies a critical problem: fragmentation. Women's basketball is riding a wave of momentum right now. Record-breaking viewership, sold-out arenas, new stars rising, fans just discovering the game. Everything is aligning for a historic breakthrough. And now, splitting players across multiple leagues threatens to dilute that progress. The casual fan, who just tuned in last season, won't follow 4 different leagues at once. Confusion replaces excitement. Engagement drops. Sponsors may hesitate. And the middle-tier players, the ones who rely on the WNBA for their livelihoods, are left scrambling. Their dreams, their development, and their opportunities are placed at risk, all because top stars chase lucrative side deals. The WNBA faces a dangerous choice: preserve its foundation, legacy, and momentum, or succumb to short-term gains that may fracture the sport forever. Project B's spectacle may shine brightly in the moment, but long-term, it risks undermining everything the WNBA has worked decades to build. The real question: can women's basketball survive this flashy disruption and emerge stronger, or will fragmentation cost the sport its breakthrough moment? There's also a deeply troubling ethical layer to all of this. Project B isn't just another rival league. It's backed by a government notorious for systemic oppression of women. Every contract signed, every game played under that banner is going to come with scrutiny. Players who take these deals won't just be making a business decision. They'll be making a public statement, whether they intend to or not. In every interview, every press conference, every social media appearance, they'll be asked the same uncomfortable question: how do you justify taking money from a regime that restricts women's rights? This isn't theoretical. It's a spotlight that won't go away. Fans, media, and advocates will challenge these players repeatedly, and their answers will be dissected, debated, and judged. It's money versus morality, and the stakes are incredibly high. The allure of massive salaries and equity stakes may look irresistible on paper, but the reputational cost could be enormous. Beyond individual scrutiny, the decision sends a larger message about the priorities of women's basketball. Is the sport about empowering athletes and creating sustainable opportunities? Or is it about chasing short-term financial gain at any cost? The tension between ethics and economics is about to get ugly, and how players navigate it could redefine not just their careers, but the moral trajectory of the entire sport. Here's what I predict will unfold. Project B will continue to sign more big names: Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, and perhaps other top-tier stars who have been quietly weighing their options. Meanwhile, the WNBA negotiations will drag on, tension rising with each passing week. Frustration will build among players who feel the pressure of stalled contracts and uncertain seasons. Some will begin to speak out publicly, creating media storms that overshadow the league's accomplishments. Casual fans, who only recently discovered women's basketball, will struggle to keep up and may gradually lose interest. The 2025 season risks starting late, or worse, being postponed entirely. Meanwhile, Project B will host games overseas, drawing curious but small crowds. TV ratings will likely be minimal compared to the WNBA's record-setting numbers. Yet the league will continue paying its stars massive sums. Why? Because this isn't about revenue. This is about influence, prestige, and global visibility. The WNBA will survive, but its dominance will be weakened. The top players are split between leagues. The middle-tier athletes, the ones who need stability the most, are left stranded, and the fans are left confused. This scenario is a textbook example of short-term gain destroying long-term stability. It's a cautionary tale. When immediate profits and individual deals take priority over the health of the sport, everyone ultimately loses. Why did Neko do this? At first glance, it might seem shocking, even selfish. But when you look closer, it's pure game theory in action. Every other player at the negotiation table already has a safety net, backup deals, or equity in rival leagues. So why should she be the only one sacrificing for the collective when everyone else has hedged their bets? On an individual level, it's rational. She's protecting her own career, securing financial stability, and gaining opportunities that the WNBA might never match. But here's the problem. What's rational for one person can be catastrophic for the group. This is the prisoner's dilemma unfolding in real time. Individual self-interest versus collective good. And in this scenario, the collective good isn't just abstract. It's the survival and future of women's basketball. Every choice at that table has ripple effects. If everyone acts in their own interest, short-term wins might be achieved. But the long-term momentum, the fan base, sponsorships, record-breaking viewership, and opportunities for middle-tier players can evaporate almost overnight. This isn't just about money or contracts. It's about leadership, responsibility, and the consequences of decisions that prioritize personal gain over legacy. Neko's choice might make sense for her today, but if the WNBA fractures, it's everyone else who pays the price. The stakes couldn't be higher. Let's zoom out for a moment and see the bigger picture. The WNBA isn't just a league. It's history, legacy, and decades of groundwork that built a platform for women's basketball to thrive. It has survived challenges before, grown despite obstacles, and created stars who inspire millions. Rival leagues might tempt players with flashy contracts, equity, or global exposure, but make no mistake, Project B is a mirage. The money backing it may look limitless now, but it can vanish overnight. Leagues can fold, contracts can be voided, and players may ultimately be forced to return to the WNBA if it still exists in a state capable of supporting their careers. The WNBA isn't just another option. It's the only league with long-term sustainability. It's where fans build loyalty, where sponsors invest in lasting relationships, and where young girls can see a clear path to professional basketball. Every decision by the top players, every negotiation, every side deal has ripple effects far beyond individual paychecks. This isn't just about immediate wealth. It's about preserving a foundation, protecting opportunities, and ensuring that women's basketball continues to grow, evolve, and inspire. The stakes couldn't be higher. This is about the future of the sport, the dreams of thousands of players, and the legacy that cannot be replaced by short-term temptations or overseas money. At its core, this isn't just Neko signing with Project B. This is about fractured interests at the negotiation table, where personal gain is slowly overtaking collective responsibility. It's about top players securing side deals, ensuring their own financial safety while leaving the middle-tier players, the ones fighting for roster spots and struggling to make ends meet, completely exposed. These are the players whose entire livelihoods depend on the WNBA, whose dreams have always been about playing professional basketball on American courts, not overseas for massive but fleeting paychecks. And it's about more than individual players. It's about the WNBA's breakthrough moment slipping away. Record attendance, record viewership, sponsorships finally taking notice. This was supposed to be the turning point for women's basketball. Yet, with multiple leagues now competing for the same top talent, the momentum risks evaporating. Casual fans won't follow 4 separate leagues. Media attention will scatter. Sponsors may hesitate. The carefully built foundation that took decades to construct is now at risk of crumbling in the name of short-term gains. This isn't just a business conflict, it's a fight for the very survival of women's basketball. The decisions made at this table, right now, will determine whether the league grows stronger, inspiring generations of girls and young athletes, or whether it fractures under pressure, leaving a void where dreams, careers, and progress should be. It's high stakes, it's urgent, and it's the moment that could define the future of the sport. So, what happens next? Watch closely. Project B announces more signings. The WNBA negotiations drag on. Stars are divided. Fans are confused. Momentum dies. Headlines are filled with speculation, while the mid-tier players, the ones who live and breathe this game but don't have massive contracts, are left scrambling. Their dreams, their livelihoods, their chance to compete on home soil hang in the balance. And every week that the WNBA season is delayed or threatened, the spotlight on the league dims, while Project B, backed by seemingly limitless funding, lures the top stars further away. But here's the truth. If the players at the table pause, if they put aside personal gains for the greater good, the WNBA can survive. And not just survive, it can thrive. History shows that leagues that preserve their integrity, build sustainable growth, and honor the ecosystem of players and fans become legendary. Short-term paydays may seem irresistible, but money alone can't replace decades of legacy, the loyalty of fans, or the hope of the next generation of athletes. The choices made right now aren't just about contracts. They are about who the game belongs to, who it inspires, and whether women's basketball can cement its place as a major sport in the world. Every decision counts, and the clock is ticking. The WNBA has a moment it can't afford to lose. The top stars have choices, yes, but so does every girl dreaming of playing professional basketball. The collective success of the league isn't just about the stars. It's about the entire ecosystem, the foundation, the future. Every coach, every development league, every young fan watching a game on TV or attending their first live match is part of this network. When the league thrives, it elevates everyone. When it fractures, it's not just the top 66 players who pay the price. It's the mid-tier players, the rising talent, and the millions of fans who are just discovering the beauty of women's basketball. And make no mistake, what happens over the next few months will determine whether women's basketball solidifies its place in sports history or fractures under the weight of short-term temptations. These decisions are bigger than contracts or paychecks. They will shape the trajectory of the sport for decades. This is a defining moment. Will the league, its players, and its fans rally together to protect the momentum, the legacy, and the dreams of those who come after them? Or will the lure of quick money and global spectacle pull the sport apart? The choices made now will echo for years. So, tell me, what do you think happens next? Will the WNBA survive this storm? Or is this the moment that changes everything forever? Drop your predictions below.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.